There's plenty of movies coming out this year that I'm pretty excited for. Avatar 3 is going to be awesome, just trust me, dude. Novocaine comes out later this month, and I'm pretty excited as a Jack Quaid fan. The remaining lineup of superhero movies actually looks really promising. I'm choosing to be optimistic about Wicked for Good, and of course, Wake Up Dead Man is going to be another masterpiece. But among all of these, my most hyped movie of the year, without question, has been Bong Joon-ho's first movie since Parasite, Mickey 17. I mean, come on! A sci-fi movie with good visuals and a great premise where Robert Pattinson plays two characters with funny voices? I was sold from day one. I watched that trailer religiously. I could not wait. And now it's finally out, and what did I think? It's complicated. I really thought that this video was going to be, it's good, go watch it, bye. I had not anticipated that I would have this many feelings on it. Mickey 17 is a nightmare in terms of pacing and structure. It has no idea what it wants to be tonally. It's also a blast with amazing world building and impeccable direction. I have no idea how to approach this, so I'm gonna try my best. And minor spoilers, I guess. I won't spoil anything that the trailers steer clear of, but if you want to go in blind, here's your warning. Robert Pattinson, to nobody's surprise, is fantastic in this movie. He's in the same boat as Daniel Radcliffe for me, where after he got famous off a popular franchise, he started taking risks and really proving himself as an actor. Unlike Radcliffe though, he had to clear his name, and man has he done so. Like, obviously he succeeded, he's motherfucking Batman, but he is unironically a candidate for one of our finest at this point. He's playing two versions of the same character in this movie. It's kind of insane how Mickey 17 is not only already such a fun performance where Pattinson has to chew up every scene with that quirky voice and great physical performance, but also clearly different from Mickey 18. Making Mickey 18 a bit of a psychopath was a fantastic choice for multiple reasons. Pattinson has to play both a coward and an insane person, both of which he not only nails, but distinguishes in every scene easily without a visual cue. And the two have incredible chemistry. I fully mean it when I say he is Oscar-worthy in this role. The other performances are alright. I've seen people shit on Naomi Aki, but she didn't bother me. Toni Collette's playing a role that doesn't require too much, so I thought she was fine. Steven Yeun is really great, and I really wish he was in this more. He gave easily my second favorite performance. And Mark Ruffalo, I think it's best to save him for later. The pace of this film really bothered me. It has kind of a slow approach to it, and it was driving me kinda nuts. Like, I wouldn't call this a slow movie, but every scene felt like it could have been a full minute or two shorter. That doesn't sound like much, but it really is. And don't get me wrong, I am by no means against slow movies, but I think it really depends on the movie. For something like, say, Killers of the Flower Moon, I think a slower pace absolutely is the better choice. But this I have two main problems with. Firstly, this is a sci-fi space movie where our main character dies over and over again. It's an inherently goofy concept that I don't think needs to be dragged out. But mainly, like I said, I've seen that trailer, and it relayed everything to me perfectly in 2 minutes. I don't know why we need to spend 30 minutes to play catch-up to explain what the trailer sums up in 2. Of course you need those scenes to better flesh out the world, ideas, and characters. I'm just saying it could have been a really solid 20 minutes. After the title card, the movie continues this pace, and there were times where I was like, this movie has been going on for a while. What's actually happened so far? And the answer is not much. The actual plot of this movie is pretty thin and could have been told in 100 minutes. Not to mention the structure, which was so unnecessary. The movie starts in medias res, so, you know, in the middle of shit. And not only is this pointless, but the movie would unironically benefit from being told linearly. If we had the full explanation of human printing first, and got used to the pattern of Mickey dying over and over again, then him surviving his mission would break that pattern and be a great oh shit moment. Instead, we know that this particular snow planet is going to be a special one, because the opening highlights it. Same thing happens during the ending. The film's epilogue is followed by a montage showing what happened in between. Why not just have the montage first so the epilogue doesn't spoil the fate of our characters? Fuck if I know. Okay, time to compliment the movie again. The direction is super fun. Bong Joon-ho knows how to use a camera, and he fully sold me into this world. The bits of action are really fun, the visuals look really great apart from one scene where Steven Yeun is hanging on for dear life. That looked bad, but the creatures look great. They were very effective in getting me to care about them. It's also just very funny. There's plenty of lines that are either hilarious or are made hilarious thanks to the delivery. It was just a pretty fun time for the most part. Okay, back to my issues. Before I get to my other main complaint, I want to touch upon a scene in the middle. So after the second Mickey enters the story, There's a scene where his girlfriend and this other girl are arguing because the other girl's like, there's two Mickeys, we can share. And his girlfriend says almost verbatim, they're both mine. And to me, that reads like a scene that shows how even his girlfriend doesn't really see him as a full person. It felt like her objectifying him for sexual reasons. But like, no, she's characterized as a very supportive person who is the only one who treats him as a human. So that line felt really out of character to me. And the other girl up to that point was a fairly complicated character I was interested in, but she basically disappears after that scene. She has a few scenes where she blindly follows orders like a cop, and it's like, I don't know, weren't you setting up something with her? Okay, on to the big boy. So, this is a dark comedy, and I feel like the bits that should be comedic are dark, and the bits that should be dark are comedic. So, when I said that this movie feels like it should be faster, I left out the fact that the tone for a lot of these high-concept sci-fi segments is depressingly serious. See, I don't know if you guys have seen this Parasite, but turns out it has big ol' themes about class and capitalism, and this movie very much continues those themes. This whole expendable business is an example of how those in power see people below them as less worthy of life. It's a representation of how poor people get exploited to make the rich richer. The premise is fun, exciting, but also is rooted in very disturbing ideas. And I'll give him that, it's a very bleak story. We follow a man as he escapes into space because the social class did not allow him to live in peace on Earth, and he gets used by rich people into literally giving them his life so they can have a better life because he has no other option. The music very much supports this, as the movie doesn't really have thrilling action tracks as much as it does sad piano ones. And if this was the movie, great. I love the idea of a movie that tricks you into watching a man get exploited in disturbing ways by having a sick concept. I would so be fine with the pacing if that were the case, but not only is the movie still trying to be this fun adventure, which it cannot balance, but it also completely fucks up when it comes to the scenes that do warrant this tone. See, Mark Ruffalo is playing, he's Trump. Like, he's full-on Trump. It's not a one-to-one imitation, but he makes the influences very clear. And as for him, he's not bad. I wouldn't call him great, but he is perfectly fine for the comedic tone that the scenes possess. But that's the thing. Why does the rest of the story, which gives off fun space opera vibes, have a depressing and serious tone, while the villain that is the root of the horrific themes gets treated like a joke? I would not have been mad that the anti-capitalist themes don't go as deep as Parasite. I wanted this movie for the plot rather than the themes. I would have been perfectly okay with these ideas being surface level concepts in the background, but the movie really wants to focus on them. It culminates in the scene where Ruffalo is just losing his shit in a very comedic way, and I was just there thinking, this is the climax? Off-brand Trump losing his mind in what feels like an SNL sketch? It's way too surface level and in your face for what should be the peak of the storytelling. The tone has completely lost all seriousness in the final act of what has been a fairly miserable story, and the way the good guys win feels like it comes from a kid's movie. At least for the portion of it that happens on the spaceship, the outside battle I liked. So overall, I don't know, it's an oddly slow mess where the scenes are placed wrong, and it wants to be an adventure comedy, but also cover these big ideas and doesn't know when to focus on what. So the dark themes are jokes, and the moments with hilarity to them are depressing, and it's a very disappointing follow-up to Parasite. But I had a ton of fun. I respect what the themes and tones are trying to accomplish, even if they were a bit undercooked. Nothing that was bad was terrible, and the good parts were fantastic. It had a great cast, and I'm still gonna watch whatever Bong Joon-ho makes next on opening day. It's certainly not the disaster that people are making it out to be. So, Mickey17 gets a 7 out of 10. I wish they committed to the sex scene.